Hey guys, Butch Hartman here. Welcome to Speech Bubble. Jace Diehl here talking Incredibles 2.
I loved it. 10 out of 10. Would recommend to a friend. Butch Hartman. Who's your favorite character in the movie?
I really like that Yogi Bear.
No, he wasn't. I don't know if he was.
Hey, boo boo. The Incredibles was probably one of the greatest movies I'd seen in 2004 up until that point. It was a great movie. Brad Bird did a great job. Characters were great. The music in that movie is fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
The great Michael Giacchino.
That was his first movie, too.
Was it really?
Yep.
Yep. Da 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 da. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that
so cool.
1950s retro look, the whole vibe is. I even like the music when everything's kind of calm.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the only movies where like every piece of music for me is iconic. Like I can sing like every part of it.
Yeah,
with it.
that's why I tell people all the time. All the time. I'm just walking out there all the time.
The Incredibles music is one of the.
Yeah, but no, every part of your movie or your show should be something memorable if you can swing it. If you can make your theme song great, please work hard on making it great. Don't have someone else write your theme song if you don't trust yourself. Write it yourself. Make your characters memorable. Make your sets memorable. Your backgrounds and things. Make your just your dialogue memorable. Make as many memorable things as you can. 'Cause you might not get another shot at it for a long, long time. And so Incredibles was great. Absolutely loved it. And I was so excited to see the second one. And in fact, it took me a long time to see it. It took me like 2 weeks to finally get to the theater.
Yeah.
You'd seen it 5 times. I loved The Incredibles 2. Loved it.
How about compared to the first one for you?
You know what's great about this? It's kind of hard to choose because I'd been so long since I'd seen the first one, but I really remember loving it, and I even bought it on DVD at the time. And Incredibles 2 to me is easily as good as the first one. I wasn't surprised necessarily, but I was really glad to see like, wow, this really holds up to the first one too. And character designs are great. They're kind of unconventional designs. Like Mr. Incredible is a big, strong guy, but he's got this really tiny waist and these little legs. And like Elastigirl's the opposite. She has like like these kind of wide hips and this very tiny upper body. I mean, but a very 1950s retro look. In fact, one thing that threw me a little bit about Incredibles 2, if I'm going to nitpick a little bit, was the design of the evil girl in the movie. We are giving away spoilers.
Are we going to spoilers?
We're going to spoilers.
It's been out for a while.
It's been out for a while, yeah.
So spoilers. Okay, so
yeah,
Evelyn
that was
Dever.
what's her name?
Evelyn Dever.
Evelyn Dever, which is a very cool name. If you put it together, it's evil.
Evil Endeavor.
Look at that, right?
Yeah,
but Evelyn Dever is very cool.
And I knew that going into it, so I knew she was going to be the villain. But
Right.
I was like, well, if she has a cool name like that, why isn't Winston Dever some cool like name too, like has to do with like the good guy or something?
Can you come up with one?
But it does. When they meet him, they go, Winston Dever, call me Win. I'm like, oh, there you go. He wants to win.
He wants to win.
That's his goal.
There you go.
So he does have
genius.
Some kind of fun in there.
Genius.
There you go.
But I just
what's your problem with her?
I thought her design was a little too traditional compared to the rest of the Incredibles. Like if the rest of the Incredibles were like flat circles and flat shapes, things like that. She was a little more dimensional than they were, and her hairstyle was a little too modern because everything's kind of 1950s-ish or 60s-ish.
I thought it really fit her personality though, where she was kind of lazy.
Fine.
And
Who did the voice?
back.
Who did her voice?
That was Catherine Keener.
Catherine Keener. Okay.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah, from Saturday Night Live.
And is she in Saturday Night Live?
Is she Catherine Keener? I think she is.
Well, she was in Get Out. That's where I know her from.
Oh.
She hypnotized him.
Oh, her.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. No, she wasn't in Saturday Night Live. That's a different girl. I'm thinking of someone else who's not her. Never mind.
Oh, okay.
Wait, who am I thinking of? I'm thinking of who's the girl who does Hillary Clinton on
Kate McKinnon?
Kate McKinnon.
Oh, okay.
That's
okay,
what I'm thinking of.
Close.
Yes.
You got
I got the hard K sound.
Oh.
You could have said monkey. I would have went, yes, it's got a hard K.
Love her on SNL.
I love her. Oh, she was one who she hypnotized the guy with the teacup.
Yeah.
That's why. By the way, that's why I have banned all teacups from the speech. We don't have any.
Anytime
we have these cups, but there's no spoons. I've taken spoons out as well, so there's no cups and spoons allowed in the same room. So because I don't want to get hypnotized.
It's like dink.
That's exactly right. Yeah. Exactly. What did you like the best about Incredibles 2?
Oh, overall.
Like, wow, I want to see this again.
Well, the
because
thing that I love about Incredibles in general, which I was like trying to think, like after the 4th time, I was like, why do I like this so much?
You saw it 5 times.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But the reason, like, I could ignore the plot, I could ignore the side character, I could ignore the backgrounds, I could ignore everything. But the main thing I like is
the theater seat.
Is the theater seat, which bends back, and I get to lay down.
And my parents aren't there.
Popcorn, pretzel,
right,
mom on one side, dad no.
Exactly. That's what I liked.
It's the characters and their family dynamic of all of them together. They all work so perfectly together. Like people are saying, oh, there should be a Dash spinoff or a Frozone spinoff. I'm like, no, they all work so well together, and that's what the Incredibles is.
Well, it was interesting. Dash didn't do much in this movie. I thought Dash would do more.
Well, I feel like Dash did more in the first one. Violet didn't do a ton compared to Dash. And now it's kind of switched.
No,
It's switched with everybody.
they obviously had different voices for the kids because the kids who did the originals were 14 years older.
Not for Violet. Violet is the exact same voice.
Same girl.
She was, I want to say she was 30 when
at the
she
time?
did the original one.
Oh, okay.
Brad Bird was listening to talk radio and he heard this girl's voice and she just sounds like that.
You think Brad Bird's listening to this right now?
Oh yes,
I could be
talk radio.
I could be in his next movie.
That's right. Do a funny voice.
Hey there, hi there. I'm Mr. Superior.
Oh
I'm
Mr.
Superior.
You're hired.
We should call it the Superiors. We'll rip it
done.
off.
Yeah.
The Superiors.
Yes.
There you go. And they lived on Lake Superior, which is in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
That's their secret lair.
Welcome to Michigan Talk. We're talking.
But they did get a new
the
voice.
fall leaves sure are orange this year, aren't they?
That's the whole movie.
Those
relaxing.
Yeah, they're Superiors.
Yeah.
Exactly. Welcome. Now, the Superiors are far superior to everyone else out there. So anyway,
but Dash got a new voice though. But I think he sounded exactly the same. Did you think that?
I know Craig T. Nelson, who was super old back when the first movie came out, is even older now.
Yeah.
And Holly Hunter, I can kind of do Elastigirl's voice because Holly Hunter, she kind of got this thing. She talks like my name's Elastigirl. She talks like this.
Were you the voice?
I was kind of the voice, yeah.
Was that you in the movie?
Listen. My name's Elastigirl. It's like Jodie. It's kind of like Jodie Foster in Silence of the Lambs. It's got that sort of. She's kind of got the little speech thing going on there. But I love Holly Hunter. But Elastigirl is great. I love the sequence where Elastigirl's on the motorcycle and the motorcycle splits in half and she stretches and stuff. Very cool.
I've been watching a ton of interviews and Brad gave I forgot the storyboard artist's name, but he gave him just the idea. Okay, so Elastigirl needs to be chasing the train. Go ahead. And then he just whipped this out in a couple weeks, and they were like, "Are you kidding me? This is crazy!" They did not know what to expect with that.
When you give an artist leeway, and the artist is talented, they can actually add to the cool script you've already written.
Yeah, and that motorcycle in general, that can help her with stretching, it was
very
added
cool.
So much to that scene.
By the way, for your 21st birthday, I got you one of those. Bring it
on
in.
Gosh.
Here it is. Here's the Elastigirl site for you. There it is. Pull it in.
Look at
that. Wow,
that's pretty cool.
Can
I stretch? Is that the thing I can do now?
You're kind of skinny and gangly. I bet you could
dislocate my bones. Somehow. Yeah, okay.
You can be Elastijace.
Yeah, that works.
Elastijace works.
Wow, so
I know you could stretch the truth. That's what you could do. Yeah. You're a really good liar. That's like he stretches.
Am I though?
No, because you're always truthful with me. But your videos are bad. That's what you say. I mean.
No, I don't say that. Take that.
You
out.
would never say that.
Out.
No, but you're Elastijace. You stretch the truth. That's what you would do.
No.
I will say I had another issue as well.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
Because it's a spoiler.
Let me say I basically had no issues.
Well, I didn't have any bad issues.
No, so I'm very curious to what other people have to say.
I did. I mean, I really liked the movie. I really don't have anything negative, but I did.
Yeah, sure.
My one issue was this: the villain in this movie was not as memorable as the villain in the first movie.
Oh yeah, no
Syndrome was a great character. He was by far a more superior, funny villain. See, the Superiors. We're going back to that.
There you go.
But this villain, who was this girl, which was fine, but she kind of was having other people be villains for her, and there really was no screen slaver. Again, this is a big spoiler alert, but I already gave it. I said the spoiler before I gave it.
Yeah, we're good.
We already know. But anyway, I just thought it would have been better had the villain been a more iconic villain. Like, okay, there's that villain, and there really isn't one. You know what I mean? And the design of the screenslaver mask, I didn't really care for as much. It looked just like a gas mask. I thought it could have been a little more. Because who wants that action figure? I want a Syndrome action figure.
I have the screenslaver.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. And bring it on in, Peel. Here it is. Bring it in.
I'm really attached to it because I made a video about it, and I was the first one to know what he looked like.
And Jace, can we see this video?
Yeah, if you want to.
Is video available?
Have you seen it? Did I show it to you?
No.
Okay, well...
You show me nothing.
What happened was I found a Lego toy of Screenslaver, and I also found a silhouette of what he looks like. And so I had this artist friend of mine combine the two. And it's basically the exact same design.
You have all this time on your hands to do stuff like this.
I told someone else to do it.
When you go home?
E-Man DP98.
No,
follow him on Twitter.
But you found a Lego toy.
Yeah.
And then a shadow. How do you...
A shadow.
Jace, come on, Jace.
I hacked into Pixar.
Okay, listen, you're 21. We're going to do something crazy. We're doing something crazy.
Let's do it.
Crazy nutty.
Incredibles round 6.
That's right. That's what's up. Now, speaking of that, so Incredibles.
Wait, no, I want to talk about the villain a little bit more.
Okay, go to the
so
villain.
that is one of the things after the movie.
My name is Screenslaver.
Yeah, Screenslaver.
Oh gosh, guys, it's Screenslaver. I'm Elastigirl. Elastigirl's coming.
He was way scarier than Syndrome. Syndrome was kind of funny, but with the voice and the costume, it was much more threatening. And in that scene in his lab, he had like that red wand with the hypnotism stuff going on.
No, it was like
that was
the
visually
strobe light.
Insane. That was so cool.
That whole there's a bunch of cool sequences in the movie. the motorcycle sequence is great.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Then there's the other sequence where she's going around town as he's talking to her.
Yeah.
And she's like flipping through town, and she finally tracks him down into this really weird little abandoned house.
I love the shot
apartment
where
building.
her hand goes underneath, up, and then she unlocks everything, and you just see him standing, staring at her hand. It's like, here he is.
Oh, you know what?
What?
He was right. I didn't see him there in that scene.
Oh, you didn't?
He's in that scene staring at her hand?
He's just like in the corner, just staring at her hand. And then he goes back, she opens up, and he's gone. He's somewhere else now. Yeah, it's really creepy.
Wow, very cool. Okay, I also love the end fight sequence is great. That whole ending.
Oh yeah, with all the fighting all the supers.
Yeah, all the super. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, all their powers are cool, even though they're not super unique. They use them in unique ways, like Void's powers with the portals and everything.
You need to uncrush this. Why I uncrush something? Why I uncrush?
Do you know who the voice of that was?
No.
Guess. It's someone you know personally.
It was Dave.
No, someone you know personally. Actually,
was it Kevin Michael Richardson?
Nope.
Was it Julianne Hartman, my wife?
Yes, it was your wife. No,
That's what I thought.
Phil
She didn't
Lamar.
even tell me.
Phil Lamar.
It was Phil Lamar?
Phil Lamar was the voice of Crusader. I don't know how to pronounce it. The guy who crushed stuff.
Crusher, yeah.
And then Helix. The guy who was who had the lightning, and then it's just like, what are your powers? You know, with the lightning and the bolts and the electricity.
He was talking like he was from different countries.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, exactly.
Yeah, I think just those. Oh, and then also he was a couple other different voices. He was like somebody in like the TV studio.
Got it.
He was like 3 voices.
See, I love Phil Lamar, but I could do all those voices. Come on, I could do every voice.
You just did them.
I could do them.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do all those voices. Why is Phil getting all the work and I'm getting
Holly
nothing?
Hunter. Why is Holly Hunter in movies?
Why am I sitting here with you talking about Lego screensavers?
When you could be Holly Hunter.
I could be Holly Hunter. She's Elastigirl. Hi guys, she's Elastigirl.
No, you wouldn't be the voice. You'd be her.
I'd actually
like
be
in
her.
live action movies. Just put on a wig. You're good.
Maybe for Halloween I should go.